Hi, this is Rihanna. So this is my response for the first discussion board for musical theater. First question was sort of difficult for me, but it was the composers question. So I was looking through each chapter and I discovered new composers that I hadn't really ever seen. The only one that I saw was Charles Harris. He stood out to me a little bit, only because I remember him in the last class, my other theater class. I'm somewhat familiar with him, but not with a lot of his works. The next question asks, what shows stood out to you as interesting and provocative? This was another one that I looked through each chapter. I only found 3 that I thought were, 2 that I thought were interesting and 1 that I thought was a little bit uncomfortable in a sense for me. So I found in, I believe it was chapter 1, the birds. This was during the Greek era. I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was a perfect representation of how kind of difficult and untrustworthy Greek gods were mainly mentioned in Greek mythology. There are some adaptations where they're holy and all good, but I think in most other adaptations they're just sort of mean kind of sense. The second one, pretty sure was chapter 2. I do not know how to say the first part of it, but the translation was the beautiful Galatea, I believe is how you say it. I think this was during the French era. I could be wrong. I thought it was a little similar to the birds. I thought it was also interesting because in my opinion, I think it represents how women, in particular, struggle with living in society. But I thought that one was more interesting than the other. And then the third one, I do not remember which chapter specifically, but it was Trial by Jury. It's supposed to be a comedy. I thought this one was more provocative. I just shortened it, being just read through it, made me feel a little bit uncomfortable how this woman is just throwing herself around for the pleasure of other men, and it just didn't really sit with me right. But those were the ones that I thought were pretty eye-catching. The third one was the change of musical theater as far as culture. I couldn't really pull together anything out of the whole period, but I thought that during the Jim Crow era, it was definitely the most memorable as far as change. A lot of colored folks were, of course, looked down upon and just weren't seen as people who could be a part of the entertainment field, really any other field. But they really changed that, and a lot of colored people decided to be a part of it. And I think especially during now, it's amazing how, these people can be a part of a diverse field, I think. Would I want to act, direct, choreograph, and design any of the shows? I thought I would like to do any part of the beautiful Galatea. I just liked it as a whole. Maybe more or less the directing part, but I wasn't sure. And then the last question, I wasn't sure what it meant by asking questions, so I just put a couple together. Have you ever been to a Broadway musical, and how do you think theater has changed in today's society? Thank you.